Yo guys, Matthew here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to not get fucked on Shopify payments, what to do if you got fucked on Shopify payments, and when to switch from Shopify payments and if to switch. So hopefully after this video, none of you guys will see this fucking banner again, okay? I have genuinely never seen a video that would be explaining this kind of stuff on YouTube or in any kind of course that I have ever bought. Like, I honestly don't understand what's going on, but like no one is making videos about this. So yeah, let's get into it. So this video is for you if you're making 50K plus a month, or if you're scaling MRR, or if you are doing anything that's higher risk than average. So first of all, you have to understand what is Shopify payments. Shopify payments is basically white labeled Stripe. That means that the risk decisioning, rudder scoring, dispute handling, all of it is handled by Stripe. And as you guys probably know, Stripe is really not friendly and it's just holding everyone's money and banning everyone, okay? And it's just like, especially when you're doing e-commerce, okay, it's just not a good payments processor to use. And I myself have this bad experience that I had basically 95K on hold for 3 months and I couldn't do anything. Even though I used 3 lawyers, it was just like nothing was working out because they can legally hold your money. They have it in their policy that if you are using Stripe, they can legally hold your money up to 6 months, which is crazy, okay? So what is Stripe? Stripe is basically payfuck. That means that they sign all of the papers with the banks to get the merchant account, and that's also the reason why you can get it really fast. Like, you can get Stripe pretty much the same day. Same with Shopify payments, you get it instantly. So they are taking the responsibility for you in front of the bank. How it works is that they get one master merchant account and you sign up as a sub-merchant under their mid. That's why it's super easy and super fast to get it. This is how it looks like. They acquire one merchant account and then all of these people are using one merchant account. So if one is doing bullshit, it looks something like this, okay? One starts doing bullshit and the merchant account is basically at risk. So they are risking all of these other people. So then they immediately, without any questions, without anything, they can fuck this merchant. And high risk for them means you can't pretty much do e-commerce. Like, that pretty much means it, okay? I'm not talking about Shopify payments. I'm talking about Stripe. To Shopify payments, they are way more open because they understand the dropshippers, they understand dropshipping, so they are way less aggressive, but it's still pretty much work in the same way. It's just they allow you a little bit higher risk. So let's get into how to actually stay safe when you are using Shopify payments. So the first thing you have to take care of is chargeback rate, obviously. The normal chargeback rate you have to keep under 0.6% and the fraudulent chargeback rate you have to keep under 0.4%, okay, which is extremely low. Let's be honest, with dropshipping, it's normal to have 1 to 2%, it's normal. To basically see this analytics, you can go to analytics reports in your Shopify reports, and there you basically type chargeback and then you pin chargeback rate and chargeback rate fraud. And then you can also pin it in your analytics. So how to keep the chargeback rate so low? The first thing, you need to use Disputify and Charge Blast. This is a non-negotiable. Everyone has to use this. This is pretty obvious. Then you need to have a good email flow. Okay, so 3 to 4 days after their order, you want to send them an email that basically tells them that there has been like a large volume of orders. So this is why like the order is coming a little bit late. You give them an update in the email and you give them a big discount code, like 30-40%. And basically, if they buy something on your store, you are making money. Okay, so like they are feeling like, oh, they gave me something, it's fine, whatever. Now I understand why it's coming late. So they already understand why it's coming late and they are not going to be mad. And then just send updates every 4 or 5 days. And that's fine. And yeah, basically the first email here is making the most in lowering the chargeback rate, because I know a lot of people don't do this, that they send the first email sending a discount, saying that there has been a delay, whatever. So if you're dropshipping, this is definitely a way how you can lower the chargeback rate. Then obviously a good customer service. Once you scale to 10-20K days, you can start thinking about call center room. It can be AI call center room, it can be human consult through whatever you want to do. And then obviously the products you are selling have to be good and have to fulfill at least 80% of what you are promising. Another really important thing about which I haven't seen anyone to talk about this, is transaction volume management. Let me explain this. How it works, okay, this is transaction volume, so 100 transactions, this is basically orders. So let's say you start scaling a store, right? You are scaling 100 orders first month, second month 200 orders, second month 170 orders, whatever. Then it blows up. Then you find the winning ad and you start scaling a lot. And let's say the ad dies out, or you have to scale down because you have to rebuild your team, or something happens, you need to fix your payment processor, whatever it is, cash flow issues, whatever it is. This is completely normal, that basically you scale down at some points. And basically what is happening when you are scaling down, you have to be careful, okay? Because if you make in 1 month, the month 4, I make 650 transactions, okay? So chargebacks, you are probably getting them the next month after the people start getting angry that where are their products, or if the shipping is whatever 2 weeks or 10 days and it gets delayed, then they start getting mad and they start making the disputes usually 1 month later. So let's say you make 650 transactions in month 4 and then you scale down to 300 transactions on month 5. So 650 transactions is basically, let's say we are getting 1 chargeback per 100 orders. So 6 chargebacks, that's from 650, it's chill, it's 0.9%, it's still okay. It's not great for Shopify payments, but it's still acceptable, whatever. This is just to show you how scaling down works and how it can fuck you. Basically, if you scale down to 300 transactions, the 6 chargebacks become 2%. And the 6 chargebacks are coming from this month to this month. Like the 6 chargebacks are from these transactions from month 4, but you are getting them in the month 5. So if you scale down, you are basically, logically it should be, this, but on paper it is 2% chargeback rate. Okay, so this is actually bad. Another thing that's pretty bad is basically on the month 2 where you make 170, 200 transactions, if you get 2 chargeback in the month 3 where you made 500 transactions, the chargeback rate is 0.4% because you only got 2 chargebacks. But the next month, let's say you get 5 chargebacks from the last month, and that will be basically 0.7%, which is still chill, which is still fine. But when you scale down, it comes to 2%, and what the bank sees is basically this, okay? They see 0.4, okay, 0.7, okay, then 2%, and they're like, it's just scaling. The chargeback rate is just scaling. They're not like handling it properly. So they will see this, and this basically leads to a hold or a ban or something like that's just not necessary, right? Like it's just like annoying to deal with this stuff, especially if you're low on cash flow and you don't want to get the holds because then you can't scale as fast as you want. There is a solution, okay? How to scale with 0 holdings. So I learned this from a guy who is making 400k a day. And like generally I haven't seen anyone else talking about stuff like this. I don't know, like it's not like super necessary that you have to do this, whatever. This is just if you want to be 1,000,000% safe and you are on Shopify payments and you want to scale without any holdings, like 20%, even 10%, whatever. You don't want holdings. Okay, let's say you start scaling and then you still can scale, you still can push it. But what high level e-commerce people understand is that if they keep scaling here, like in the middle of the month, the next month they have to basically out that month. You will understand in a second. So basically what they do is that they slow down the volume, they test a lot of ads, they find new winning ads, okay? And then they come here and then they start scaling and then they do the same, then they start scaling. They a little bit even sometimes scale down at the end and then they start scaling. So basically they hire the transaction volume at the start of every single month because the chargeback rate for the bank resets every time at the start of the month. For the bank, it resets for you, okay? So it's not from the last 3 months. Every start of the month is 0%. This is very important to understand because if every month at the start is 0%, and let's say you get shit ton of chargebacks here, where you don't have transactions yet, or like if you downscale and then you get fucking shit ton of chargebacks here, like what can happen? You end up with 5% chargeback rate like here. Like this can happen. But if you understand this and you are waiting for scaling up for the start of the month, you basically avoid this completely. if you need to scale down, let's scale down here and basically scale up, like, or if you need to scale down, do at least this. If you really need to just go down, what you should do is try to keep it as high as it makes sense. So like you will be making less profit. If you want to scale down to make more profit, you will be making less profit, but you will be saving your payment processor. So instead of scaling down like this, you can scale down like here, for example. You're making less profit than you wanted, but you are saving the risk out of the payment processor, and then you scale down the next month like this. So do it like stairs, basically. This is how you can stay as safe as possible. I hope this is clear. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. When to switch and if to switch. So the first reason why you should be thinking about it is if you are scaling MRR, because Shopify Payments doesn't allow you to transfer the token. It doesn't allow you to rebuild the customers if, for example, they don't have enough money in the bank that month, or the transaction gets declined, etc., etc. There's a lot of things that could happen why the rebuild wouldn't go through. They don't allow you to rebuild them until it goes through, okay? And this is not black hat. Everyone is doing this. Everyone is doing this stuff. It's completely normal. Guys, I'm sure that you have noticed when you are subscribed to something that they are rebilling you until they get their money, or it stops after 3 months, whatever. So this is completely fine. And you should definitely have this in the future as you are scaling, because you are leaving like 10 to 15% of the customers on the table. Like it's literally like 10%. Like I know one brand which basically switched from Shopify Payments just because of this reason. That they were losing like 10% of the customers because of this. Is if you are scaling past 300k a month on a single store. Okay, so I don't recommend to do this. I'm not saying it's like impossible. I'm not saying it's too unsafe or whatever, but when you're scaling above 300k a month, you already have the history and the money to acquire very good payment processors that have really high approval rate, and also you will not be risking the holdings, etc. Even if you do everything that way how I explained it, it's still possible to get some kind of hold. It's normal, you still can get it, but this is how like you mitigate it to make it as lowest chance as possible. Another reason is if you are doing aggressive marketing or if you're selling some kind of gray area product. There's another reason, pretty obvious. And also scaling negative with MRR. So I would genuinely never scale. I know people do it, but I would myself personally never scale negative with MRR on Shopify Payments, because yeah, you can have the best fucking LTV calculation ever. You can calculate it fucking 10 times up front. You can calculate it fucking 10 months up front that you will make money. Like you will make this much money in 3 months, this much money in 4 months, this much money in 7 months. Okay, great, perfect. You calculated that you're going to scale to 3 million a month with this much profit in 7 months. And guess what can happen after fucking 3 months? Shopify can fucking ban you, and then you end up in a loss because you calculated everything 7 months up front. So that's pretty unnecessary. So yeah, and what to do if you just got banned or if you get banned? So most of the people, if they get banned from Shopify Payments, they start thinking like, how will I fix Shopify Payments? Okay, this is horrible. Okay, I did it myself when I got banned, and I switched to Stripe just to keep the store making some money. But like, I was not trying to find the solution, but I was trying to fix it, which was not the best decision. You need to get a new payment processor as soon as possible, because 90% of the private processors ask for the last 90 days of history, which means that if you are waiting like day by day, the chance is getting lower and lower that they will be able to help you. Every day without revenue, basically, you are like losing the chance to get better processor. So of course there are some that will onboard you even without history, etc. But the quality of them gets lower and lower. That means like the approval rate, the service quality, etc. The better history you can give them, the better processor you will be able to get. And another option is IBO structure. So how it works is that you basically use like an agency that does this, and they will get you an IBO. It's basically an independent business owner. He will hold the company, they will get the processors for you, and then you are processing like everything under their company and under them. Like, I'm not gonna tell you like this is 100% white, but there are services like this, and it's honestly it's fine. And they give you multiple processors per, you can get multiple IBOs, and you can just like fucking scale to 7 figures a month, multiple 7 figures a month. You pretty much need just one IBO, but to mitigate the risk, you can literally get 3 IBOs and fucking scale like this. I spoke to a guy who has 10 IBOs and is literally like on each store is making, under each IBO is making like 1.5 million a month, and he's using them basically for Shopify payments. So like he's using Shopify payments, but he mitigated the risk under 10 people, which is basically pretty safe, right? Because if 1 or 2 gets banned, he's still making 8 million a month, and he can fix it. He can get new ones like ASAP and then keep it running again. So yeah, that's like the 2 best options that I know about what to do if you get banned. Of course, there's more things that you can do, but these are the 2 things that in my opinion are the best if you are doing dropshipping and are just trying to make as much money as possible. I'm not advising you to use IBO if you want to build a brand, like a huge brand that you will sell eventually, okay, like a long-term brand, etc. Do this always under your name, 100% white everything, obviously, because that's the best way how you can exit and sell. So yeah, guys, if you need any help with payment processors and you are doing at least 50k a month, feel free to message me on Instagram. You can just DM me the word payment processor and I will send you some questions. And if I can, I will help you, because I know how fucking pain in the ass can this be. So yeah, see ya, guys.